Okay, I think this is going now. So I know it shows at the beginning, it shows me just staring at my computer because that's what it does. Oh, anyways, I'm here talking. I was sitting here and going through some of my mindset stuff, and I thought I would get on YouTube live because I rarely do this, and let's start doing this often and just be real and talk about what I believe really needs. Oh shoot, I just stopped that wrong. Sorry guys. Good Lord. Okay. And I just wanted to get on and start talking about some things that I thought were really important, and it was really about getting real. I have a lot of women that reach out to me and a lot that join my Facebook group, and they post in the comments why they're joining and what they want help with, which is fantastic because this really helps me. But then they're not listening, or they're not watching, or maybe not reaching out to me. Is that you, right? We say, okay, I really need to get help with this. I really need to make these changes. I really need to do this. I don't know how to do it. And it can seem so overwhelming and so confusing, and that we might have to make too many changes in our life. Does that come up? I might have to do things that are uncomfortable. I might have to do things that I don't really want to do. What if I have to change this in my life? What if this is going to cause, what if I have to make too many changes in my life? What if I don't want to make those changes? This is going to be too hard. It's going to take too long. It's going to require me to spend too much time in the kitchen, which I don't like to do. I don't like to cook, and I don't want to cook, and I don't want to make healthy foods, and it's too expensive. All of these things could be going through your head. And you're making up this huge, big story about something that doesn't have to be that complicated. I'm just going to open up my YouTube because I accidentally closed it. That doesn't have to be that complicated. And so then what you do is you stop yourself. And it's got a stupid picture of me in this thing. You stop yourself from making changes. You stop yourself from making changes because you think, you get so up in your head. Huge, big story about Sorry, I just wanted to turn this down. So you get up in your head and imagine all this big worst case scenario, or all these things that you're going to have to do. So that's going to just stop you from making those changes, or even getting help, or even starting. So what happens then, let me know if this is true. What happens then is you're like, well then, oh my God, I'm so disappointed in myself. I say I want this, but I don't take any I don't make any moves. I don't make any changes, or I start and then I stop. I start and then I sabotage myself. What's wrong with me? Why do I keep on doing these things? Or you stay in confusion. I don't really understand. I don't really know how to do that. Why doesn't someone just give me what to eat? Just tell me what to eat. Give me a meal plan. I'll stick with that, right? No, that's not really the truth. You see, you can have a meal plan. And you can try that meal plan for a week or two. But why someone giving you a specific meal plan also probably won't work for you. Very few people. It's because each woman's different. Because what works for one, it may not work for you. Because your life is different, right? The meal plan given to one person may be like, oh my God, that's so different from what I was eating, that's too much of a change too fast. Or that's too simple and that's too boring. I don't want to just eat that. You see what I mean? Or it doesn't fit into your lifestyle because you have a different type of a lifestyle, right? So that's why I don't do things like that. That's why I don't just give people meal plans, because there's also what gets in your way is in your head. You're the one stopping yourself because you're overthinking, you're overanalyzing, you're believing it's going to be too much work or take too much time, or you think you're going to have to give up a way of life that you don't want to give up. Or you use the excuse, my boyfriend, my husband, my friend, my kids won't eat that way, or they bring this type of food into the house. So I just can't resist it. I just can't resist it. And I just end up grabbing those things when I get stressed, when I get emotional, and this is happening. Then I just grab this food and I just don't, oh my God, right? That's all mindset. That's all up here. It's just because that's the way you've lived your life in the last little while. Those are the thoughts you've thought. Those are the feelings you've experienced. Those are the roadblocks you've run up against. Those are the patterns and habits that you've repeated over and over again. And they will continue. They will continue if you don't make the change, if you don't really make a change, okay? But then again, I know it's like, but I don't know how to change. I don't know how I'm going to make those changes. I try, but then I don't work. I try, and then I go backwards. I try, right? Just take a deep breath, because that's what happens when you try to make changes in your life. Me too, right? When we go to make changes in our life, we're going to run up against our triggers, the things that actually hold us back, our patterns, and the way we've protected ourselves in the past. We're trying to stay safe. We're trying to stay comfortable. We're trying, our body wants that, our nervous system. Because when you go to make a change, when you go to try to do something that's different, or as you see complicated or whatever, your nervous system, the energy within your body feels, awkward. You get like this inside. And that feels weird. That feels strange. And you want to get back to the comfort feeling. So you move away from what's causing you to feel that. That's why sabotage happens. That's why I quit happens, right? It's because you feel that discomfort in the energy within your body, and it feels so uncomfortable. We always want to get away from something that's not comfortable. That's human nature. But what do we do about something like that? Is you learn to stay in the discomfort. It may feel uncomfortable, but you learn, okay, I know you have the awareness, right? This is uncomfortable because it's something new to me. I feel my body kind of panicking. I feel that I'm triggered. I feel that I don't want to do this. I feel the story that's coming up that is going to be hard. I don't know how to do this, so I'm feeling stupid. I'm feeling dumb. I'm feeling like I can't handle this. All of those thoughts can come into you, and we want to run away from that. Okay, it's natural, it's human, it's natural. But when you have the understanding, oh yes, I'm experiencing these feelings, this energy disturbance within my body, because it is something different, it is something that is new. You just sit in it and you tell yourself, this is feeling different. This is feeling a bit uncomfortable, but I'm safe. I'm fine. And I'm choosing to make these changes. I'm choosing to do this. When we were kids, we went through this all the time because you were constantly learning new things, but kids dealt with it different. They didn't make a big story about it. They didn't make it mean they were dumb. They didn't make it mean they were stupid. They didn't make it, right? When you're really young, as we age, that's what happens, right? So when a child's learning to ride a bike, they try, or learning to walk. Think of an infant learning to walk. They fall, 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 they cry, they fall, they cry, they walk a little bit, they fall, they hurt themselves, they cry. They don't give up on walking. They don't give up on walking because they're not building a story around it saying, I can't walk. I am a loser. I might as well give up. I might as well find something that can cart me around because I'm never going to learn to walk, right? They don't say that. But as adults, we do that. As older, and when we get older, we tend to do things like that. We make it mean something. Maybe someone told us it means something. Maybe someone in society told us it means something. Wherever it comes from, it doesn't matter. You just need to have the awareness that I am feeling this discomfort because I'm trying something new, because I'm doing something new. It doesn't mean anything about who I am as a person. And it doesn't mean I'm unsafe. It just feels like I'm unsafe. It just feels unsafe because when your nervous system is activated like that, is the same as when you're activated when you're in danger. So your body feels like you're in danger, but you're really not, right? You're really not in danger. So, hey, someone's here. Thank you. So we bring these stories in our head that making a change towards our health, healthy eating, losing weight, and all that is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. We may not be able to figure it out. So if we can't figure it out, if it hasn't worked in the past, we're stupid, we're dumb, we have a problem, we can never be fixed. We're never going to understand this, on and on, right? So let's drop all that and get back to what are you really desiring? What are you going through in your life right now? What are some of the struggles? How are you feeling right now, right? How is your body feeling? How is your emotional state? How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel, right? And then just decide, okay, I'm choosing to make some changes in my life. I want to make these changes. I want to feel better. I want to lose the weight. No matter what happened in the past, I haven't been able to lose it, whatever. It just means you haven't found the right thing yet. But you're not flawed. You're not broken. Still love yourself completely and unconditionally for who you are and what you are, and love your body the way it is, even though that may seem hard. But isn't that what we need to do in all areas of our life, right? Love your body the way it is now. That doesn't mean you're not going to change it, right? Loving your life now doesn't mean you don't want it to change. But why not embrace the moment, embrace the moments, embrace now, enjoy your life now while you're making the changes, and just have more patience with yourself. I'm going to choose to reach out, get help so that I can make the changes I want to make, because I can't figure this out on my own. And I think as women, I know I do too. We're like, well, I can figure this out on my own. I shouldn't have to get help with eating healthy. I shouldn't have to get help with working out. I shouldn't have to get out. I should just be able to know how to do it. I'll just look up on YouTube videos. I'll just figure it out, or I'll just tell myself tomorrow I'm going to start. I'm just going to eat cleaner and eat healthy, and I'm going to figure it out. And that does work for some women. It does. But the fastest track is to reaching out and getting help, and truly, right? And then realizing when I reach out and I get help, I will be making changes. So when I go to make these changes, it's going to maybe feel a little uncomfortable. I'm going to be excited to make the changes, but then it's going to slip into, oh my God, those areas where I'm just not sure. This isn't working in my life. What do I do when I'm too busy? What do I do in this and that, right? And then you learn. In those moments is the only time you can figure out what to do. We can't think way far ahead. It's like, so stop believing that something isn't going to work for you before you've even tried it, right? When I'm in the moment, I'm going to figure this out. And it's like what I tell women. They go through and they're like, oh, I didn't eat well today. I did not eat well today. It was bad. It was not good at all. Or, and then you can't beat yourself up. You just got to say, okay, that day happened. That is what it is. Tomorrow, I'm going to make better choices. Or when you're driving around and you're like, oh, I'm starving, but there's nowhere healthy to go. So I'm just going to go to McDonald's. So I'm just going to stop at Wendy's because I have to eat, because I have to do this, because on and on, right? Those are stories. And then you're choosing, remember, it's you choosing. So bring back your power. Your power is you. I am choosing to eat at McDonald's. Then tell yourself, do I really want to choose to eat at McDonald's? Because you have the power. Instead of thinking, oh my God, it's impossible today. I have nothing else. No other choices are around. So, then, oh, well, I'm just going to have to eat at McDonald's. It's terrible. It's bad for my body. I'm going to gain fat, on and on. Those big stories that happen. Shut that all down. Because that's all emotional, right? Be more objective. Do I really want to choose McDonald's? Or can I drive a little further or think a little differently and choose something better? See how that's such a different energy? That's such a different energy. That's bringing the power back to you. I get to choose how I go through my day. I get to choose how I respond to things, and I get to choose what I eat. Because you always do, or you don't eat. Like some people ask me, what do you do when blah, 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 blah? And I'm like when I'm in an airport, when I'm traveling. In airports, you guys, I'm gluten-free. I can't have preservatives and junk. I can't have MSG or anything. So all the Asian things or fast food does not work for me. Very rare. The only thing is really French fries. So what do I do in airports? I either don't eat, and I'm serious, or I have just French fries, because French fries are usually a thing that has nothing else added to it, right? And yes, they're cooked in the oil that does contain a bit of gluten, but I can deal with that. I just get like a bit bloated and stuff, but it's fine. I'll buy plain almonds or raw almonds or stuff like that at an airport. I usually bring my own stuff, tell you the truth, always. But there is so few options for me that I starve? Sometimes I'm very hungry, yes, but I'm not going to die. We have to remember that when you're driving around and when you're in this frantic fury of think you need to eat, you're not going to die and you're not going to starve to death. So don't say that the only option is a McDonald's, especially when we're on road trips, right? Or Wendy's. Yes, you can make that choice, but then stop the emotion around it and stop using excuses and justifying why you did that and just say, I chose to eat at McDonald's today. Bang, that's it. Right? That's it. Your next choice, you are responsible then, of course, for the next choice you make and what you eat. So if you choose again to eat fast food over and over again, then that's your choice. Why are you making that choice for yourself? You're sabotaging. You don't value yourself. You certainly don't value health at all. Right? And that may trigger some people. I do value health. Well, then you wouldn't do that. Right? You would not do that if you truly love yourself, your body, and you value your health. You wouldn't do that. You would have McDonald's, or I can't at all, but Wendy's or whatever every once in a while, but you wouldn't continue to choose it. You know what I mean? So just look at things in your life. You want to take a look at your values. Like, what are some things that are really important to me? What do I spend my money on? What do I spend time on? What do I always have time for, even though I think I'm busy? What do I love doing? What do I love reading about? What do I love listening about? What do I love researching? All of those things, right? So for someone who's a really busy woman who works a lot and continually says, I don't have time to shop, I don't have time to eat healthy, I barely have time to make a meal, so I really need help with this because, oh my God, my life is just so busy, I don't have time. So when you look at the values, the value, and that's how we've been raised, what people around us thought, what we were told, what we began to believe ourselves. Your value for a woman who's really high, let's say in their career, in their job, or works multiple jobs because you're just making a living, right? The value is work. You were just raised with that you need to work really hard. You need to work. It may take working a lot of hours. And so we learn to value things based on how we were raised. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much for that. We really learn to value things, but it doesn't mean they have to stay that way. So somebody and I work with a lot of women who are like, it's like you were raised to be successful in your job and your work. And that means you're a really good woman and you're a really good person and you're very successful. So you've tied success to your job. I have a good life. I'm a good person and I'm a successful person if I do really well in my job, even though that job now may be taking all your hours and you actually don't have time to even make healthy food. But they don't realize that that's a big problem. So what it means is your values are all geared to working all those hours. And you think that if you let go or say no to working all those hours, you are a bad person, that you're failing in life. I want you to really consider that. For health, someone who has health, activity, healthy eating as a priority, as a top value, you would never get into a job where you couldn't be healthy or make healthy meals. You just wouldn't have chosen it. You wouldn't have applied for it. You would have quit. We would work our way around, like I have always done, having a job that supported my health and my healthy eating. As in, I worked in an office for years, but they had a kitchen, they had a fridge. I was always able to eat healthy. I never had to work these crazy long hours. Right? It just wasn't in my field. It wasn't attractive to me and I wasn't attracted to that type of job. But when we're raised one way, which is no fault, there's nothing wrong with it. And you're working all these hours and you're very successful, let's say, and you just can't find time. It's just because of the way you've been doing your life. So when you're knowing now that it's time to take better care of your body and you're like, how am I going to do this? Because bang, bang, bang. So you're talking about how your life is now. What's required is what I talked about earlier, is beginning to make little changes. And those little changes are going to feel uncomfortable to start because you're going to be rearranging your life. right? Something's got to give. It's like a really full closet of clothes. If you continually to buy clothes but never clean out your closet, you're not going to have room for the new clothes. Everything's going to be so crowded and so jam-packed, and it's eventually going to stress you out, and you're eventually not going to be able to find what you want to wear in a day. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't find anything in this stupid closet. That's what happens with our lives. So in midlife, it is a calling, it is a time for you to really stand up and say, okay, I have been living my life in a certain way. My body is suffering now. It's time for me to take better care of myself. I know I need to. This is reality. This is a reality check. My body's breaking down. I am not feeling good. How do I want my health to be now and in the future? Stop it. What about money? What about my career? What about this? Yes, that can always be there. But if your health's not good, that's not going to be good in the future. How are you going to continue to do well in your job, in your career, in your relationship, in your life, if your health starts going downhill? And it will, if you are not taking care of yourself. If you can't even find time to make a healthy meal or buy healthy food in your health will go downhill, most likely. Very rare. Keith Richards. We all know about him. There are some people that don't eat good, don't take care of themselves, and live till 98, whatever, right? There's those few people there, but you may not be one of those exceptions, so don't plan on it. But anyways, it's kind of a wake-up call. But what I really wanted to come on here and is just speak the truth of what I really feel inside, and also let you know that you are fine. You are human. You have human feelings. You have human conditions. We all go through this. Making change is not super easy, but it's not impossible. It just requires you to stick with it, to have the awareness of those little things that come up inside of you that don't feel good and want to make you stop and want to make you sabotage. But you can learn to work through those. You can learn to work through that. And get in touch with, again, what's really important now. In the past, this has been important in my life. So I've given a lot of time and energy to that. Let's say your job, your career, your whatever, family, and you've always put yourself last. Midlife is a time when you can't do that anymore. You got to stop putting yourself last. Because if you want to care for your family, your kids, be there for them, you got to start putting yourself as a priority and taking better care of yourself. That's just the reality. That's just a fact. All right. Thank you for being live, the person that's live. And if you've watched the replay, please let me know. Say hello. And I hope to do more lives, but I also want to schedule them. So I let you guys know. And I want to hear in the comments, what topics do you want me to cover? What topics? I love doing the mindset around this. So if you want more mindset, tell me what you're struggling with, and I'll do a video on the mindset around that. If it's the food and health, actually, I just did a webinar. I have a fantastic webinar I can give you a link for if you want to watch and really learn about the hormones, the food and stress and the belly fat and how to get a handle on all that. Message, comment below, and I can give you information on that. It's free. But I'm here for you. It's up to you. Reach out for me. I do lots of coaching, one-on-one and group programs. So I have something for everybody at all price levels. And because I really want to help, because it's time you make those changes, because this is a very crucial time in your life. You're at a crossroads and you get to choose which way you're going to go. All right. So much love to you. Bye-bye. I got to get out of this. I forgot. Stop this. It's so weird for me to know how to shut off this.